Colony, my name is Time Sentry of the Bronie brothers, and welcome back to Danganronpa! Today wait, just a sec. Hey, it's a letter! Dear Time Sentry, for this class trial, the guilty one has to be you. Huh, I guess I have to... Wait, what? I have to lose the trial? Ha! Not gonna happen. And I'm gonna win this trial. Prep trial? Yes. Continue? Yes. I don't know what the letter means, but we're gonna solve the case. Okay, let's review our truth bullets. Monokuma file, exploded dead body, fake nails, fan rear, shard of bomb, sprinklers, when the body was found, knife, tarp, chickens, Togumi's account, body before the explosion, Makuru Ikusaba's profile, Monokuma's account, wood block key, titanium arrow, bloody duct tape, and Kyoko's account. Okay, I think we're all set. Let's do this! I'm not picking the Blackened. All rise!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the Blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Okay.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
Makuru
It's
Ikusaba.
Kyoko! There's no other explanation.
What? Don't tell me
But
you're
Kyoko's standing right there.
See?
No! That's a ghost!
Yeesh.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well,
Not
that's
all.
just because...
Well, not all ghosts have legs, but some ghosts do have legs. The haunting hour is weird, isn't it?
She's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
How would ghosts have
There's a
technology?
limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait. Her face? No. Piercing glare? I think so, but I think we should go with the gloves. Because that's in the truth bullet, I think. Monokuma's account.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
Yeah, that is kind of
And
suspicious.
would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
I wonder what they look like.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They
Right.
probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
yeah, right. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here, and this case won't move forward. Okay, so I don't have a choice but to make my argument. Fake nails, right? I'm going with that.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
No.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is
What
idiotic.
I said fake nails.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt off in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, it isn't.
No,
There we go.
it's wrong.
I have to get rid of the other one. Now they tell me.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Yeah, and those are...
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Yeah, right.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
He's got a point. Before we have to identify the victim. Isn't it obvious? It's gotta be Mikuru Ikusawa. Then again, she could be the mastermind, so she's tattoo on her right hand. That could be a big giveaway.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Oh man, that's it? Okay, I think that last one is a big...
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Alright,
Well, if we can't identify the body...
No,
got
it's
it!
wrong.
Okay. How
There
many-
was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Isn't that something
Ooh,
would...
an unusual death. This I gotta see.
You're not helping,
Being
Taro.
stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Is that really necessary?
They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Okay. The, profile. I think it's the profile.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusawa belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Like their hand.
Fenrir?
He's the wolf of
representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast.
Wow, you didn't stutter that time.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and the female giant.
No. He's the pet of Hela, the goddess of death. And firstborn of Odin.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A
Really?
wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a clue-last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
What?
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Oh boy.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Yoko got it wrong?
Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
I know I did.
No!
But someone
There's a
told me I
chance
have
that
to
there's
say
some mystery
it was.
17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 60...
Us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
And those are...
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
FaceTime? Oh, me.
I got it!
Great.
We've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However,
What time did you go?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs.
Which I still find weird.
All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
Well, we might be in trouble. I gotta clear my name and get out.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, a little.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
Actually, she found out around 9 o'clock.
I
She
got
was
it!
fast.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about
Isn't that
it.
the time
Which
when
means from
the
10
sprinklers go
p.m. to
off?
7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
It's gotta be the sprinklers, right? Please tell me there's sprinklers. Yes!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock and...
No.
No, that's wrong!
I knew you would say something like that. I was
Actually,
expecting
the murder
other
couldn't
one,
have
but
happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly.
oh, you don't recognize it?
The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No,
I'm
boy.
saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
No.
You're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler...
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Yeah, I am curious.
They only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on.
Yeah.
The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Then why wasn't the lower half?
Then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Then why wasn't the lower
She
half
must
wet?
have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
The only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Makuro's killer is... No, the reviews would believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing.
Yeah?
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Good.
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
She had a motive and no alibi. Well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Yeah, wait, what?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
Huh? What?
What are you...
What are you talking
Because
about?
you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Are you talking about the tarp? You're talking about the tarp, right? This?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Look guilty.
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
Huh?
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, slow down! Why would she say that? Why? I'm not the killer! Is this what the letter told me? No, it's not. I refuse. I'm not gonna lose this challenge. But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Huh? Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone thinks I'm gonna be the killer. I have to remove what Kyoko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty. No, it's wrong.
The rest of it sounds true, but the last one?
Actually,
No.
one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
I find that
If they
hard to
had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
believe. Camouflage? What do you mean? What's she talking
What
about?
if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Belong to the victim.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's
Yeah.
office.
That's what happened
That's
last
what
time.
Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
But the only place that had blood anywhere was... Of course! The chickens!
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
That's 5.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
Oh, so that's which one
So,
disappeared.
you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood?
So were the chicken itself.
That's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Not helping.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
What?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When
That
you
doesn't make
discovered
sense.
the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No.
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no, I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Wait, what?
That's not...
Don't
What are you
bother
talking
saying
about?
it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
You're not helping. Great. Now the suspicion's back on me. Why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. I don't understand either. This guy's dead body. He has been added to the truth bullets selected in your handbook. Are you kidding me?
Well then, it looks like we're back to square
You're
one.
giving me a truth bullet now?
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it?
Not me.
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Not helping.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that! I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just
What?
stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
It's one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Yeah, the killer stole
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Please don't think of me. Please don't think
That's
of
what
me.
I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So, what do we do? Why don't you hang on to it? Seriously, you have to pull all that one on me.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
This is not helping.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
someone stole it. I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed.
You're not
the knife we
helping.
found stuck in the body came from Makoto.
But
I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone, not the killer. Man, this is the first trial all over again. Okay, let's go with, dead body disguise.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then
Come on, give me something to
that
shoot.
seals it. Makoto did it.
No, I didn't.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Wrong.
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
That makes no sense. Please tell me there's something I can use. Let's go with Monokuma file.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
Dude.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
It's a bomb.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
The only explanation I can think of is... fragment. Oh, there you are.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Okay, we need to think. Are we gonna scan something?
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined,
Okay,
correct?
I don't
The
trust this.
explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Yikes.
Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Why am I doing that? Okay,
Then, shall we continue the debate?
fatal
The
injury.
victim's fatal injury has yet to be...
No,
No, that's wrong. There is...
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Wait, injuries all over her body?
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
No. Not
How is
bad.
that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
They're both prickly in the
No
back.
way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Not helping.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Ew. That's too far.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to
Yeah.
figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
It's those arrows thingies. Yeah, titanium. It's very strong. Just as strong as gold.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Ooh, duct tape, right? I think that's what
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Okay, now I know where to shoot.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
But I
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just...
Too thin?
No,
I don't think so.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar
But
to
a lot of
Aesop's
things
fable about the
together
thunder
you
of
make
sticks.
something very hard.
One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Exactly.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? If you even know listening.
Yeah, like,
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon.
as I was trying to say, like, a page of a book, it's floppy. But if you have all the pages all sewn together, it would really hurt.
As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Did you talk about that key thing?
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
We're not
You
protecting
know what will happen
any...
if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Good point.
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Oh boy. Sorry. But we did find this. Yep.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
What?
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's
No.
just... There's
She's
one
your
more
future
thing I need
girlfriend.
to ask her.
What?
Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
Now that I realize it wasn't a dream.
I was just protecting you.
What?
Huh? Protecting me? Oh, so that killer, her, wasn't her. But how'd you know we were being attacked? She came to our rescue? Could that be when... would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
That's right. Did you have a certain...
should know.
Yeah, you have something. When the body was found. Are you sure?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Okay,
Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Okay.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No,
Actually, you're wrong. There isn't proof of anything. Because you have
if I'm
asserted
right,
something.
Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Exactly.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had
Oh.
given her room key to Byakuya.
Yeah, wouldn't that make you
I see.
the suspect?
So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in.
Yeah, that's
Without
right.
my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
Ah, so we're off the hook.
Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Wait, that's not actually true? There was a clear contradiction, but this isn't like her. To try and save herself with such desperate lie? What are you talking about? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's not the killer. Or is it something else? What are you talking about? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said? If you vote for me and die here, and I die, the mystery of the skull will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind had laid for us. Wait, are you saying this is rigged? I don't believe it. trial is rigged. But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What? The mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? Am I the only one who knows it's a lie? I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What should I do? Okay. Should I pursue the lie, run away, or let it go? You know what? I'm gonna let it go! Let it go! Let it go! I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. It has to be some secret here. There's something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
Yeah, you. Obviously, you
Who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Yeah.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time.
What if...
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
When you put
Someone
like that,
had to put the key in there.
what was it?
There's only one other possibility I can think of.
What?
Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Huh? Pretend to find it. You're not thinking...
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't
What?
see any other
no,
option.
No, I'm innocent. I tell you,
Wait a
I'm
second.
innocent.
You've got it all wrong.
Yeah.
Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
There's gotta be more truth bullets, right?
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Yeah. This trial feels rigged.
Mukuro, who we didn't even know
knows
existed,
something.
suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial.
Yeah.
And
What's up with
Kyoko
that?
even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up.
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What?
What?
Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
I'm voting for
Voting
Togepi.
time?
Oh no. No. At least I got straight A's.
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will
I know
you
it's
make
not
the
me.
right choice,
It's not
or
me,
the
it's not me, it's not me,
dreadfully
not me,
wrong
not me, not me,
one?
not me, not me,
Hey,
not me,
hold
not me,
on!
Not me, not me,
What's
not
it gonna
me,
be?
not me,
What's it gonna be?
It's not me, 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 not me. It's not me! Don't be me, don't be me, don't be me, don't be me, don't be... Dang it! Shoot! Looks like the letter was right. I'm the Blackened. Shoot! Sorry, man.
Sorry.
It's all your fault. But, everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it. This game was rigged.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job. More like terrible job. They got it right. Don't you lie. You know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. This trial was rigged.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm going to end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I have to go through it? Go! Do
I
something!
don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Huh? Wait, what?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
No! Stay away from me! Stay away! Stay away! No! What kind of punishment I'm going through? What was that? Is something coming? What's that mechanism? What the? Am I getting flattened? Am I becoming a human pancake? What's going on here? And what's up with that stupid bear? Oh no! Oh man, I am gonna get flattened! I'm not happy about this! Not happy about this! Not happy! No! 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 After school lesson. What lesson? The lesson it was proven wrong and I have a split personality? I hope I'm wrong. This is hard. What am I learning? It's all in Japanese. It's right behind me. Hey. I don't like how it's turning from red to blue. I can't look. Wait. Chihiro? Was that who I thought it was? Huh? What just happened? Huh? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego? Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from this stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell. Oh, I do not believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. Huh? No. You miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an inch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in the garbage stern pit. In a way, that's an ever better special punishment. Are you really doing a trash compactor? Her from Star Wars? Not cool. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still going to bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. He's gone. Yeah, you voted for me! Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now it's the masterminds that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers is all over. Aw, man. Oh no, we're restarting the game! I'm not reading all this. Thank you. We're not reading all that. We're going through that. I was worried that we had to start the game all over. Aw, man, we're back in the classroom. What? Where am I? Welcome. I'm not going through this. What the heck is going on? Yeah, history's repeating itself. And I want out. Oh my god, it is a trash compactor! And look! It's that rocket! And from episode 1! I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. Hey, this isn't an inception. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. That's the smell of the trash compactor. And make sure there's no sea monster underneath. Because a sea monster, or actually a garbage monster, pulled Luke down one time. In a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. What you call garbage pit, I call Star Wars trash compactor. Let's just hope the walls don't cave in. Heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted all away and died? No, I can't let this happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Okay. Oh, we can enter. That looks like a plane. 2 of them. How did something like that end up here? Okay. Oh, I actually remembered too. A rocket and a tank. I better not think too much of what I'm seeing down here. Guess the only way out is up. No! No! It's locked! Please tell me I'm on the infinity train, and I have to look for some sort of way to unlock it. Some task. No matter how many times I pushed and pulled, kicked in at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be easy. Well, if I'm not going to get out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. Ew. That was pointless too. Dang it! Next I searched for some water. Dude, you're standing in it. But another way, how can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on the walls. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I live, I'm alive, I'm never gonna give up. After making such that proud declaration, the next thing I had to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. Wait, something did fall from the sky? Is this sky falling? Is this gonna be Chicken Little? What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarred me awake. As I watched the piles of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down here? Something fell from above. Is it the baby Jesus that comes to save me? What could it have been? Let's ask it. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? You know, I'm gonna leave this video here. Something's not adding up. And I am really confused. Whatever it is, I think I'll figure it out on next episode. So thank you all so much. If you like this episode, like and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.